How did your invitation arrive? In the claws of a bird of prey? In the fist of a charmed giant? I got mine from a terrifying ghost.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? Your invitation to attend Shadastula, of course. Oh my, you really have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Not even the faintest clue.
We're waiting to depart for Shadastula, the Academy of Magic. The Academy sends invitations to only the most promising mages, trains them to become leaders for the houses and the Ebonheart Pact. My apologies. I thought that was common knowledge.
Ah, in that case, where do I sign up?
It's not that simple. You have to be invited. No invitation, no boat ride to the island. The Academy is quite exclusive. Not like the Mages Guild.
How do I get one of those invitations?
All of us waiting for the boat have invitations, but I doubt you'll find anyone willing to hand one over to you. It's a big honor to be invited. Anyone willing to toss that away isn't really Academy material.
Know anyone who might be willing to give up an invitation?
Well, Girvarda doesn't seem very thrilled about going to the Academy, and Rennis and Guroni will wager on anything. I even heard some students buy their way onto the boat, but I'm not sure I believe it.
Actually looking for...
I've never been this far from home. I can't believe I'm doing this.
What are you doing?
Going to attend some fancy Academy of Magic. My family's never had any magicka, but I have the gift. I never wanted it. I never asked for it.
Then why are you here?
Father wasn't sure what to do with me. When the invitation arrived, he seemed eager to send me on my way. I've never been this far from Lower Yorkram before. I don't know if I really want to go to Shadastula.
Actually, no, I'm not. I think she could benefit from that if her father was wanting her to go.
Just wait till I get over to that school and show them what I'm made of. They'll be amazed. What are you looking at, Swit?
Someone I can snap with one hand tied behind my back?
Think so? Come on. No one's that eager to get humiliated. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with?
Someone I'm challenging to a fight? Winner gets to keep your invitation?
All right, loudmouth. Let's see what you're made of. Take the invitation and leave me alone.
Right, sidetrack. Supposed to be saving people from a plague, but no.
Must I repeat myself? This vessel is only for those who have been invited to attend the Shadastula Academy of Magic.
I have an invitation.
Yes, you're something special. Come aboard and prepare yourself to enter a realm of wondrous magic and magical wonders. Now sit down and hold on, Your Majesty.
Sarcasm. Sarcasm was strong in that one.
I hate boats. All the rocking and back and forth and back and... By the 3, I think I'm going to be sick again.
I told you you shouldn't have eaten right before we... Oh my, that's just...
Our friend looks more blue than usual.
I hate you both so much right now.
Vivek, curse you, thief! God!
Hi. Apparently someone saw me.
Ugh. 'Cause Take pride in your work, I always say.
Goodness.
Welcome to Shadowstula, proud training ground for the next generation of House and Pact leaders. May I see your invitation?
Here you go.
Ah, yes. The Archmage asked me to expect you. He's been waiting for you to arrive.
Really?
No need to be worried. The Archmage has visions about people all the time. It's one of his many, many gifts. Please, report to Archmage Fillet right away.
Can you tell me more about the Academy?
My pleasure. The Academy trains promising magic users to become great scholars, charismatic leaders, and mighty heroes. It's sponsored by the great houses, and this is the first season that we're accepting candidates from all Pact nations.
Is it part of the Mages Guild?
What a silly question, of course not. The Mages Guild has too many ties to the enemy alliances. The Academy is strictly a training ground for future leaders of the Ebonheart Pact.
Work.
We can use this.
Fun.
Let me tell you about the Academy grounds. Pay attention. There will be a test. Instruction halls occupy the eastern building. The testing field to the west provides a safe place to practice your spells. Administration sits atop the hill, including the Archmage's office.
Are you done? You got more? Was that just enough to tell me where I'm supposed to go? Hags, harpies, and hag ravens. So I listened to the sermon by the thrice honorable High Priest Zeldar of the High Temple, and he did inveigh against womanhood and its inherent wickedness, citing the tale of the Tempera Shakara, and the bloody crimes of Queen Jezreel. Consider hags, harpies, and hag ravens, quote he. Are these monsters not all, each and every one, women, and therefore wicked? And I thought to myself, it seems to me this is a priest who likes not women. Wherefore and wherein, if women are wicked, does he find the virtues of men, which he infers as a corollary? Was not the grandee Quarism, who basely slew his 13 wives, a man? Are not the terrible ogres of the hills and the giants of the mountains always male? Consider the legendary Minotaur. Is he not even excessively male? Was not Sept the god deceiver a male? So I then upon the thrice honorable high priest in his quarters and spoke this to him. But he was unabashed, and called me immodest and presumptuous. Yes, I presume, I said, and I shall presume further. And I unveiled my features, and disrobed my form, and I said, Is this the wickedness you fear, O holy priest? And the priest did shake and perspire, and reach for me with fingers avid and trembling. But I struck them aside with a laugh, and resumed my garments. And I said unto him, Consider, O priest, that a true woman gives not her gifts to one who does not respect them. And thus did I deliver a sermon unto the high priest. Interesting. Eagle Hunter against the Dominion. The Dominion is ruled by the Altmer and their vassal slaves. Pay heed to their weakness and cowardice. They employ a combination of subterfuge, magic, and dirty tricks that can trap up a stout-hearted, honorable soldier such as yourself. The cowardly wood elves are best noted for their unwillingness to engage in a face-to-face attack. A Bosmer will strike at you from every side except the front. You won't cross swords with a Bosmer, but you might catch an arrow in the throat. Be wary in forests and jungles, and watch your back. The Khajiit may look cuddly, but they are in no laughing matter in a fight. Don't expect duels to end if you can disarm them. They possess razor-sharp claws that can puncture light and leather armors. It is said that their tails can be used as crude third hands, wielding daggers and throwing knives with deadly accuracy. Then there are the High Elves themselves. Although the haughty Altmer are often undone by their own arrogance, in a fight their considerable reach can pose a problem. Close the gap between you and your target, make their height a liability, strike low, and bring them to the ground. With a little study, a stout-hearted Covenant soldier such as yourself will be able to easily cleave through thousands of pathetic Dominion conscripts. Okay.
I expect my students to strive for excellence. I demand brilliance, determination, and eagerness to embrace the ineffable mysteries of our noble calling.
Only problem with that is I'm not really a student here.
Do not doubt what was meant to be. Powers beyond our comprehension set things in motion, and all we can do is take the ride. I saw you in my visions. You have come to protect the Academy.
Protect the Academy from what?
That part of the vision remains clouded. Nonetheless, here you are, and we must get ready. I need to confirm your sensitivity to magic. The lights in the next chamber form a test of sorts. Only the most sensitive individuals can see them.
What do I need to do?
Touch the vision orb behind me. Watch the pattern play out. Simply repeat the order by touching each of the spheres. If you make a mistake, you may start over.
Oh, how kind of you. Oh. I didn't realize that one didn't turn on.
As I suspected, your sensitivity is impressive. You could see the pattern. Now I know you can help us against the coming danger. I knew you could do it. Well done. Now to business. Something threatens this academy, but your presence here will save the day. I have seen it in a vision.
What do you mean?
You've seen it. War and disease ravage our lands. We're surrounded by enemies, yet still we tear at each other's throats. Our students will help change that. and you will keep them safe so they can fulfill their destiny.
And how am I going to do that?
We will figure that out together. Though the invitation didn't start out in your hands, that's where it ended up. You were meant to be here. A great danger approaches this academy, and you will save us from this disaster. I have foreseen it.
Okay.
Now I must find a way to comprehend what monumental task you've been sent here to accomplish. Until my visions reveal your ultimate destiny, I have a favor to ask. It may seem trivial, but I assure you it's important.
What do you need?
3 students arrived with you. The Dunmeri Lena and Tedros, and the Nord, Hadmar. It is your solemn duty to make sure they pass their initiation tests.
What's so special about these students?
Before you arrived, my visions revealed those 3 to me. They are to play an important part in future events directly related to the success of the Pact. Help them. They must pass their tests and complete their training.
I'll do what I can. After I go through all your bookshelves. The Locked Room, Part 1. Yana was precisely the kind of student her mentor despised, the professional amateur. He enjoyed all the criminal types who were his usual pupils at the Stronghold, from the common burglar to the more sophisticated blackmailers, children and young people with strong career ambitions, which the art and science of lockpicking could facilitate. They were always interested in simple solutions, the easy way, but people like Yana were always looking for exceptions, possibilities, exotica. For pragmatists like Arthkemu, it is intensely vexing. The Red Guard maiden would spend hours in front of a lock, prodding at it with her wires and picks, flirting with the key pins and driver pins, exploring the hole with the sort of casual fascination that no delinquent possesses. Long after her fellow students had opened their test locks and moved on, Yana was still playing with hers. The fact that she always opened it eventually, no matter how advanced a lock it was, irked him even further. "You are making things much too difficult," he would roar, boxing her ears. "Speed is of essence, not merely technical know-how. I swear that if you put the key to the lock right in front of you, you'll still never get it around to opening it." Yana would bear his abuse philosophically. She had, after all, paid him in advance. Speed was doubtless an important factor for the picker trying to get somewhere he wasn't supposed to go with the city guard on patrol behind him, but Yana knew it wouldn't apply to her. She merely wanted the knowledge. He did everything he could think of to encourage Yana to move faster. She seemed to perversely thrive on his physical and verbal blows, spending more and more time on each lock, learning its idiosyncrasies and personality. Finally, he could bear it no longer. Very late one afternoon, after Yana had dawdled over a perfectly ordinary lock, he grabbed the girl by her ear and dragged her to a room in the Stronghold far from the other students, an area that had always been forbidden to visit. The room was completely barren except for one large crate in the center. There was no windows and no other door except for the one leading in. He slammed his student against the crate and closed the door behind her. There was a distinct click of the lock. "This is the test for my advanced students," he laughed behind the door. "See if you can escape." She smiled and began her usual slow process, massaging the lock, gaining information, and after a few minutes had gone by, she heard his voice again call out from behind the door. "Perhaps I should mention this. This is his test of speed. You see the crate behind you? It contains a vampire ancient who has been locked in here for many months. It is absolutely ravenous. In a few minutes' time, the sun will have completely set, and if you have not opened the door, you'll be nothing but a bloodless husk." Yana considered only for a moment whether he was joking or not. She knew he was evil, horrible man, but to resort to murder to teach his pupil? The moment she heard a rustling in the crate, any doubts she had were erased. Ignoring all of her usual explorations, she jammed her wire into the lock, thrust the pegs against the pressure plate, and shoved open the door. He stood in the hallway beyond, laughing cruelly. "So, you learned the value of fast work." Yana fled from the Stronghold, fighting back her tears. He was certain that she would never return to his tutelage, but he considered that he taught her a very valuable lesson. When she did return the next morning, he registered no surprise, but instead he was seething. "I'll be leaving shortly," she explained quietly, "but I believe I developed a new type of lock, and I'd be grateful if you would give me your opinion of it." He shrugged and asked her to present her design. I was wondering if I might use the vampire room and install the lock. I think it would be better if I demonstrated it. He was dubious, but the prospect of the tiresome girl leaving at last put him in an excellent and even indulgent mood, and he agreed to give her access to the room. For all morning and most of the afternoon, she worked near the slumbering vampire, removing the old lock and adding her new prototype. Finally, she asked her old master to take a look. Back home in Orsinium, I finished delivering that shipment of ingots to Orsinium. The stories are true. No matter how many times the city gets razed or sacked or burned to the ground, our brothers and sisters rebuild it better and tougher than ever before. It's been 39 years since King Emmerich gave us Hrothgar and Ossinium back. I learned that an army of orc crafters can do a stupid amount of work in 39 years, and it's none of that ornamental Breton crap either. It's good, solid stonework built to hold up the next time the Bretons and the Red Guards decide they'd rather just kill us all and try to raze our home to the ground. Every time I'm back home, everything I do just feels right. If you haven't been, then I'll say it's like this. It's not Daggerfall. Everyone knows where everyone stands in Orsinium. The Bretons in Daggerfall always think I'm on my way to a battlefield. If I hear, "Are you a soldier?" one more damn time, I'm going to show them the heavy end of my hammer. If we act like beasts, it's because half the humans in that town talk to us like we're big dumb beasts. The other half get really quiet when I'm around. I don't honestly think they fear me. They couldn't possibly think I'm there to kill them and eat their children. They should know I'm there to do business. I'm a blacksmith and stonemason, and I'm there to make some coin. Despite that, no one there is really honest about how they feel about orcs. As soon as I'm back in the heart of Hrothgar, walking between those solid stone walls, everything changes. It's honest there, not like Daggerfall. There's no fawning or bowing or scraping or Breton poetry. When you talk to someone, they say what they mean. When you look at someone and he's got a problem with you, you know it. And if I've got a problem with someone, I can punch him in the face without knowing someone's going to call the city guard on me. We settle it. You know what I mean. Do you remember the last time you were in a little orc stronghold? Do you remember the last time you talked to some chieftain with his fat ass on a throne and all his wives scurrying around him? A chief's first wife. Every time, I swear, no matter where I go, she sizes me up from her first look. She's got to figure out which orc traveler or merchant or crafter is going to be the one to bring down her husband and tear down everything she knows. She's a big slaughter fish in a little muddy pond, circling you over and over again. You don't get that in Orsinium, ever. There's a whole school of slaughterfish baring their teeth at each other, so really you don't have to worry about some scheming chieftain's wife. Everyone who hates you shows it. You know it. And the food. Damn the food. No one in Daggerfall knows how to butcher an animal properly. Maybe their cooks just hate doing it? The farther you travel from Orsinium, the worse it gets. Humans overcook their food, so it lacks that savory flavor you get from juice and blood. And nothing crunches properly. You know how it goes. Don't get me wrong, I make a lot of money in Daggerfall, but Orsinium is a real city. It's as honest as a stone wall, it's as brutal as a hailstorm, and no matter what they burn or bash or smash, it will never really die. Orsinium is home, it's always good to be back. Archmage's Journal. This year we get closer to the start of classes here at Shadastala. I look forward to finding excellent leadership candidates among this year's crop of students. Those who will grow into great leaders, remarkable scholars, and mighty warriors for the houses of Morrowind, and starting this season for the entire Ebonheart Pact as well. Often my visions don't manifest until a student has spent some time within the academy. Most years no one emerges who quite matches my hopes and dreams. Which is why I was encouraged, confused, and a bit frightened when I started receiving visions of 3 students who haven't even arrived at the academy yet. At first, I worried that my visions were faulty, but this is not the case. These visions are as clear as any I've ever experienced, albeit with dark undertones I do not yet understand. My first vision concerned Tedros Relvi, a noble son of House Idorol. His entire life has involved magic. His father is a battle mage, his mother a healer. Pompous and a bit whiny, Tedros is lazy and hard-headed. He's also a master of word and wit. In fact, I think he might make a better bard than a wizard. Still, I must heed my visions. From what I seen, his future self grows into a master negotiator. Hedmar the Thin Bone was the subject of my second vision. Rare for me to see a Nord in a vision, and rarer still that a Nord develops significant magical talent. With a pure heart and a warrior spirit, Hadmar possesses a good soul. He's also dumb as a gar. Will he embrace his magical studies? Regardless, I see him standing tall upon the field of battle. Does he have the makings of a battle mage, perhaps? They're really big on showing Nords as being, like, not the brightest. Kind of mean. The final vision concerning Lena Dalvel, and it was the most confusing of the three. Her lineage contains almost no magical heritage. In fact, I'm not sure how she got an invitation to her school. Perhaps the house noble recognized her talent? Her vision is the most promising and the most frightening. Lena stands on a balance that could easily tip toward darkness or the light, two possible paths for her to walk. One path shows her as a great leader of the people, serving in a coming time of troubles. The other path shows her involvement in the destruction of the world. This particular vision disturbs me greatly, and I must not be allowed to come to pass. She must finish the trials under my guidance. It's imperative that her proper destiny be fulfilled.
Think I've read that one before.
Oh, we absolutely did, sir. We really did. Don't mind me. I am nosing through all of your books. Okay, I think we got it all. Book of Excellent Teachings. To open the gate in our mysterious lake, one must follow the Book of Teachings. For only when shapes are set and directions followed, will the portal open, but try not to get swallowed. Let the sun's spiky rays warm the northern shore, as Master's full moon rises to the western expanse. Stars sparkle above the eastern moor. Okay, so sun north. I'm not going to remember any of that. The north, moon west, east, and a crescent moon. Okay, wrote it down.
Praise be back. You were there to stop Alexandra Cannell from capturing the Coral Heart.
I did do that.
What rubbish. Fish magic from a pond? They vexed buttocks. What does that even mean?
Anything I can do to help?
I'm not helpless, you know. I can do this. Ugh, never mind. I give up. I'm not getting sent home over some stupid fish that doesn't exist. You want to help? Fine.
Oh, wrong button. I had to answer an email. Okay, let's try that.
What rubbish. I'm not helpless,
What can I do?
Well, you can either fill this pond with fish so I can actually catch one, or figure out what these orbs do. They gave me a book, but it just contained some stupid riddle. I threw it on that table over there.
You didn't try to figure out the riddle?
What am I, a child? I'm going to be a commander in a house army, or maybe an advisor to the pack leaders. They should have just given me a spell I could cast.
You're an idiot. You are an idiot. Okay, so north. Oh. Crescent moon, got it. Fine, alright.
What is it?
Nothing. East is a star. Okay. southern is Crescent Moon. And this is west, which should be a full moon. Poor creature's gotta die every time we do this.
I think I got it from here. Thanks for the help. Maybe I'll get a chance to cast some spells after all.
Find the amulet, she said. Use the wand, she said. What if it sets things on fire? I could burn the whole academy to the ground.
Something I can help with?
Oh, you know I'd never burn anything, right? It's just a figure of speech. I can't fail my initiation test. I couldn't face being sent home.
Let me help. What do you need to do?
An instructor said one of these shadow clucks has a magic amulet. Ate it, probably. I'm supposed to use this wand to focus my magic on the clucks and find the amulet.
What does the wand do?
Actually, I'm afraid to find out. You don't seem at all timid. Would you do it? Please find the amulet. I can't fail this test. I suppose you take this wand and, focus your magic on the clucks. Frankly, something doesn't feel right about this.
A human skull rests upon the site where the creature was blasted from. What exactly are these things eating? A strange egg the size of a creature that it came out of. The wand seems to have a strange side effect. Excuse me, Sam. Kind of hard to see the chickens. Chewed up homework. A member of the academy seems to have lost papers written for illusions class. I think I've done that one a few times. That one seems to get set off a lot. Oh, wait.
All those feathers flying. Another Morrowind. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing.
Here's the omelet about the shadow clocks.
Don't worry about it. It was hilarious. I'll take the amulet to the instructor right away. I owe you one.
Asked me to do one simple thing. Bring student rats back to instruction hall. But Hadmar can't do anything right.
You need some help.
My spell went wrong. The instructor said to round up the little ones, bring them back safe, and we'll get them fixed. But, well, one got away and climbed on top of that big rock. Oh, Hadmar is so ashamed.
Ashamed of what?
Hadmar is scared of heights. Oh, why did little rat climb so high? I crafted a totem. Makes a helper fly up to get rat, but no one wants to be Hadmar's helper.
I'll help you. How does the totem work?
You would be helper? Oh, thank you. Face big rock in front of Hadmar, activate totem, then climb and grab nice little rat. But be careful. If you point the wrong way, you'll fly someplace wrong.
Yeah. Wait, how am I supposed to aim this thing? Can't I just climb up the rock?
I don't know if I can go on.
There we go.
Is little friend safe?
Perfectly. Here's your friend.
Oh, little rat is safe. Now Hadmar won't get beaten with rakes. Like at home. Good, good, good. I'll take little friends back to get fixed up right away.
The apprentice's assistant. No doubt you have heard tales of my adventures, stories carried from province to province. All of Tamriel and all of my feats in magical prowess. More than once I am sure you have thought, if only I had Aramel's... If only I had Aramel's ability, then I too could seek fame and fortune in magical duels. It is true, of course, great fame and limitless fortune awaits those who are successful. But to be successful, one needs to learn from the best. And that is why you have purchased this book, so that I may teach you. I am, of course, the best. Here then is my advice. Follow it and you too can make a name for yourself throughout Tamriel. 1. To know your opponent is to know his weakness. Infinitely more versatile than a simple blade of steel, and a good mage has a wide array of spells at her disposal. More than that, she knows when best to use them. She knows that frost spells can stop a charging beast, or keep a savage brute from swinging his sword. She knows that shock spells can drain her opponent's magicka. She knows that illusion spells can set a group of enemies against each other, should she find herself in less than a fair fight, an all too common reality when the opponents know they cannot win in a single combat. And that there are spells that can save her in a moment when all will seem lost. To know yourself is to know your limits. Even the best mage has a finite reserve of magicka. None born yet have been graced with Magnus's infinite reserves of power, and so a good mage does not overextend herself. She makes sure she always has enough magicka to keep herself safe. Failing that, she makes sure to have a sizable supply of potions at the ready. Failing that, she makes sure she always has an escape route. Not that the great Aramril has ever fled a fight, but of course you do not necessarily share her superb natural ability. That is why you must practice. Wards can kill you. There's no question that wards are an essential tool of any aspiring mage. They can block incoming spells, negating your opponent's attack and wasting his magicka. A good mage knows, however, to not rely too heavily on a ward. Keeping a ward ready for too long will leave a caster drained of magicka, unable to retaliate, and at worst unable to maintain the ward, and therefore become completely defenseless. Two hands are not always better than one. Any advanced spellcaster has learned to cast spells with both hands, dealing more damage. There are certainly times when this is to your advantage, such as when an opponent is already weakened, or when it is likely to draw a bigger reaction from the crowd that has no doubt gathered to watch you. It is not always the best strategy, however. Concentration spells, for example, can often be used on the ground when an opponent is especially nimble. In that instance, using both hands independently can cover more ground at the same time. A mage throwing fireballs with both hands cannot immediately raise a ward to defend herself or heal when she continues to attack. Always rise to the challenge, especially when you know you can win. Remember that your first priority is, of course, to stay alive. Following closely behind, though, is your need to please the crowd. You are, after all, depending on their generosity to fund your exploits. Here, then, more than magic comes into play. You can gain a sense of your opponent's ability before the duel begins. You can enter into an event with confidence. Knowing you outclass your opponent is of great importance, as it means you can confidently give the crowd a better show. Likewise, knowing ahead of time that you could very well lose a duel, you're afforded an opportunity to suddenly find yourself engaged elsewhere and be unable to attend the event. By no means do I suggest that I've ever done such a thing. I simply find that my great fame occasionally means I'm unable to respond to every single request for a duel. Keep these things, few things in mind, and keep your wits about you, and you too can make a name for yourself by putting on great displays of magical prowess. Take care, though, for if you become successful enough, you may find yourself facing a challenge from me. Guard, you are in my way. You are in my way. Sir. Sir. Dreams of sleep. Me too. I dream of sleep all the time. And then I do something that prevents me from going to sleep because I'm an idiot. Oh,
I hope you've come to drink.
Oh. I didn't realize it was this kind of school. They do look like they're having a lot of fun though. Right, Xander? I'm looking for chess. If you're curious as to what I'm doing.
Why must I suffer?
Before I go see him, I'm gonna go be nosy for a second. Hold on. I'll bring you back if I find anything interesting, or else I'll just meet you there. Okay, I did find something interesting. Brave little scrib. Brave little scrib lived with the Quama Queen, the workers, and the warriors. They were a free colony of Quama, not bound to a dark elf mine or any other form of servitude. But brave little scrib was bored. She didn't like being told what to do by the older Quama. What makes you smarter than me? Brave little scrib asked Quama worker. I'm older than you, scrib, Quama worker said impatiently. I'm always very busy, so I know what's best. You need to stay away from the waterfall. Trust me, you're better off keeping busy than playing in the stream. Brave little scrib didn't like that answer, so she went to speak with a Quama warrior. Why can't I play in the waterfall? She asked. Quama warrior, serious always, and never looked at scrib as he spoke. Instead, he constantly scanned the cave for any potential threats that needed to be fought. Warrior liked to fight, and he was always looking for a battle. The waterfall? You can't fight the waterfall, little scrib. Water is cold and fast, and it makes you drown. You should go back to the egg chamber and play with the other scribs, where the other warriors and I can watch over you. But brave little scrib didn't like that answer either. Well, thought brave little scrib, if no one can give me a really good answer why I can't play in the waterfall, then I'm going to go play in the waterfall. As brave little scrib approached the underground stream that flowed from falling water, she spotted a tiny torch bug up ahead. Hello, tiny torch bug, Scrib called out. Oh, hello, little scrib, Torch bug sang. His voice was hot and sultry, and it crackled like a burning fire. What brings you to this part of the cave? I've come to play in the waterfall, brave little scrib said cheerfully. Will you fly away so I can pass? Oh, yes, said Torchbug. I'll happily fly out of your way. I haven't seen anyone drown in the waterfall in quite some time, and I find the sight very entertaining. Please, hurry, I need a good laugh. Brave little scrib didn't like what Torchbug was saying. You want to see me drown? Well, I guess I don't really care one way or another, said Torchbug, but I do enjoy a good drowning. Do you know how to swim, little scrib? Brave little scrib thought about Torchbug's song. I know how to swim, she lied, but I don't think I feel like playing in the waterfall today. Maybe tomorrow. See you later, Torchbug. If you insist, little scrib, Torchbug sang. Have a good day. And brave little scrib wandered back to the egg chamber, looking for another adventure.
May I help you?
Nope, just poking your bookshelves. 'Cause I'm nosy. That book series is going to take us a long time to read when I finally get around to reading it. Don't mind me interrupting your class. I'm so not sorry. I should really look up to see how many books there are. There's a lot. Welcome to new unmarried irregulars. Welcome Altmiri, Bosmiri, and Kahiti warriors. Welcome to the elite force of the Aldmiri irregulars. Orcs, dark elves, and men, most of all, men, are best at war. They have drenched the mainland of Tamriel in rivers of blood. As long as their follies are confined to murdering one another, what they did in and around their so-called imperial city was beneath the notice of the Altmir of Somerset. Then came the dragon break. The catastrophe was entirely the fault of men, but the Altmir had to repair it. Now the men of the Empire have catastrophically blundered again, and all Nirn is threatened. Our good queen had no choice but to form the Aldmiri Dominion to conquer Cyrodiil and ensure for the good of all who dwell in the Nirn that men never again tamper with forces beyond their comprehension and competence. Only the Aldmiri, the High Elves, and their noble allies, the Wood Elves and the Catmen, have the wisdom to restrain to peacefully rule the disparate peoples of Tamriel. Though we are reluctant to take up this burden, events have shown that we must. Recent events prove that the Dragon Break was not a unique event. Men always follow the destructive path of their defender and apologist, the missing god whom we shall not name. This ends here. Once again, elves shall rule Tamriel from White Gold Tower, this time forever. The world has gone wrong, and we must put it to right. March proudly beneath the equal banner of the Aldmiri Dominion.
You're not allowed in here.
Hi. Okay, I think I've read all the books on site. Some of them I didn't share because they're part of a series, and you get the books out of series, and I just don't think it'd benefit anyone if
Can't you see that I'm furious?
Prohibited, except the instructors. They have free access to the beverage cellar. And the instructors' lounge in administration is strictly off limits. Understand?
Yes. Maybe.
There you are. I feared you'd been kidnapped by forces from beyond.
Not yet. Your students passed their tests.
So I heard. Well done. Here, take this as a token of my appreciation. But don't get too comfortable. Matters of grave urgency loom on the horizon. While you assisted my students, I had another vision. I see that your fate is fundamentally tied to the Chaosbringer, Magistrix Vox. However...
Tell me what you saw.
Alas, I've seen nothing beyond the Chaosbringer's name. Something interferes with my forevision, blocking my efforts at every turn. I suspect we are opposed by mighty forces beyond mortal ken.
What should we do?
We must take appropriate measures. I'll gather the students and make sure the grounds are secure. I'd like you to use the trapdoor to investigate the library vaults. I haven't heard from the librarian, and that fills me with nameless apprehension.
Alright, I'll go check out the library vaults. Love checking out the library, clearly. Why is the library vaults stored underground like this? Nice library.
Ah, Verlaine. You walked right into my trap. Wait, who are you? Another student? Another new Mulborn soldier?
Oh, good. You're finally awake. You were unconscious for hours. At least it seemed like hours. How do you feel? I was worried about you.
What happened?
Shadowstool has been overrun. The last of the Mulborn from the looks of it. They must need more soldiers. And they're getting them. They cast some kind of spell to enslave the students.
You're forcing the students to fight for them?
That's what it looks like. That spell didn't work on us. Don't know why. We carried out the Archmage's orders, but then the Mulborn caught us and threw us in here with you.
What did the Archmage order you to do?
When the trouble started, he gave us some arcane items and told us to find places to hide them. Then he went off on some mission of his own. I'm glad you're awake. Can you get us out of here?
I can try.
Whatever you plan on doing, you have my full support. Just know that.
This is terrible. The Academy's in danger. The Archmage is missing, and I'm locked in here with you.
Who captured you?
The Morborn General himself. One of the senior students recognized him. Said he was Darvason. Used to be the Archmage's assistant.
Where did the Archmage Valen go?
Who knows? He muttered something about looking for Hadmar and a familiar. What do you think the Morborn want us for?
Nothing good. Have you tried the gate?
I was afraid to. There are guards out there. Maybe you could check it, discreetly.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Leave me alone. Don't hurt me.
What was that?
Back away from gate. Coming through.
This must be the familiar the Archmage told us about.
Said to rescue you. Master sent me to make sure you're safe. You smell all right. Look funny though.
What do you need us to do?
Open portal and we go find Big Lord. Name Hatmere or Hatmead. I forget. Mortals have their names. No matter. Come. We go now. Big Nord hides in building next to where we appear.
What about Lena and Tedris?
They stay here. Master says he doesn't want them to be dead yet. I get them when time comes. No worry.
Okay.
Time to go. I come back for other two later.
I don't want to fight them. I think they're all students. Hey, buddy.
Yo, Hadmar's glad to see you. Archmage said you'd be here soon, and here you are.
What's going on?
Hadmar isn't sure. One moment I was walking to instruction hall, next moment, boom! Hadmar knocked on backside. woke up in here with Archmage standing over me. He said, wait for you to show up. I waited, and you showed up.
Did the Archmage say anything else?
Yes. He told me to set up my totem near Big Rock outside. Lena hid her lockbox high up on top of rock. Lockbox is very important. We must find lockbox and bring it to Lena.
Where is it?
Just outside. You use totem to reach the lockbox, while Hadmar stays on ground. Then we'll find Lena.
Okay.
To Apocrypha with you. I still fight.
Where are we supposed to be going? Oh, this way. Which... Oh, I...
Good find, cohort.
Right, Xander.
Wait, where am I? Why are we up so high? That blasted Banekin. It could have warned me.
Nice to see you. Can you open this lockbox?
The lockbox, right. The Archmage tinkered with my wand and told me to hide it up here. That was just before Darvason tossed me in that cell. I still can't believe the Archmage's old assistant is the Molborn General.
Sounds like the Archmage has a plan.
He said we'd need the wand, but he didn't say why. Wait, I know. The Molborn have occupied the library vaults and sealed the door. And what makes the best spell of unlocking? Burnt scamp hide and illusion dust, of course.
Where can I get those ingredients?
You can use my wand to scorch the scamps. And illusion dust is the residue of illusory monsters. With enough of each, we can prepare a spell to get us through to Darvason. We'll need Tedris, though. That spell is his specialty.
Okay.
Let's wreak some.
I was gonna try not to kill the students, but it looks like I have no choice.
Let's wreak some havoc. Let's wreak some.
Don't want to.
How invigorating!
About time you summoned me. I thought you'd leave me sitting in that cell forever.
I heard you were the best at opening locked doors.
You heard correctly. If I had the right ingredients, that is. But getting them will be tricky, considering the Moorborn occupy the Academy.
Way ahead of you.
Illusion, dust, and burnt scamp hide. Perfect. Just give me a moment and... there we go. I'll wait up here. You know, to keep your escape route clear. Now go find the Archmage and put an end to that Darvason.
Okay. This is a fun little side quest that we've stumbled into. I like it. For stealing a ticket and barging our way in. Poor bookshelves. They look like they were really nice. Good job, Xander.
Ah, anything interesting?
We've read it all before. Oh. Sadly, I can't read that to you right now. Might not even be anything worth reading. We're going this way. Ah, I was butt up against a Daedric temple.
I'm feeling hostility. going to need a moment. I'm not a young man.
Sleeping on the job, you two.
Mullane said you would come. Now you die. And I leave with my new armor.
My next wound could be fatal.
Hurry! We must destroy the jagged lens.
Did we get knocked out?
You're awake? Oh, I was so worried. I'm so glad you're all right.
What happened?
You shattered the jagged lens and broke the spell. The few Molborn who were left were totally outnumbered and they ran for it. The Archmage had us bring you up here. I've been watching over you. You know, as a friend.
So Shadowstala is safe again?
Safe as gore apple pie, thanks to you. And you weren't even supposed to be here. I heard how you got your invitation. And now we're all alive because you broke the rules. I'll have to think about that.
You watched over me the entire time?
Don't give me that look. I was worried about you, that's all. Oh, and before I forget, the Archmage wants to speak to you. He's right outside.
Oh, well, at least they're all back to dancing and happy again. The same three.
Good to see you up and around. I knew you'd be fine, but Lena wouldn't leave your side. You gave her a good scare.
The academy is safe?
Yes, though we lost a few students and instructors in the fight. The fact that the lens was buried below the library vaults was one of our greatest secrets. Darvason used that knowledge to aid the Molborn.
So is that why the Molborn attacked Shadowstala?
Quite so. They're running out of loyal troops. When Darvason told them about the lens, they saw it as the solution to all their problems. If Darvason could turn our students into soldier slaves, the Molborn would be back in business.
Is that it then?
For you, here, yes. But I don't need a vision to know that you still have unfinished business out there. Anyway, I'd like to thank you. And there's one more thing.
What is that?
The students you helped want to speak to you. They're waiting at the docks. I think they want to say goodbye.
Is it true that Darvason used to be your assistant?
Unfortunately, yes. That's how he knew about the jagged lens. In fact, I found him experimenting on a student with the lens when I relieved him of his duties. He was furious when I expelled him from the academy.
If the lens was so dangerous, why keep it around?
It was a relic from the migration from Somerset, still in its original site in the underground temple. Tamper with it? Remove it? Unthinkable! Still, don't feel bad that you destroyed it. You did what had to be done.
Okay. It was a very short quest. I mean, it wasn't. It was about an hour long. But they seem like they say they know us a lot better than what they do. And I think that's probably something I feel a little uncomfortable with when it comes to Elder Scrolls Online. Like, the NPCs act like suddenly now you are lifelong friends and you're like, I spent 5 minutes with you. Nope. Nope. Did that on purpose. Totally. Absolutely. Did not do it on purpose. I meant to jump it, and I didn't. I didn't jump.
I wasn't going to let you go away without saying goodbye.
I'm done here. I have to return to Mournhold.
I know. You have things to do. Important things. We just heard about everything you did before you arrived here. But we didn't want you to forget us.
I won't forget you.
We wanted to give you something. It's not much, but maybe it will help you remember the Academy. Now, where did I put it?
You don't need to give me a present.
Don't be silly. Ah, here it is. Take my wand. It works better for you anyway. Remember me when you use it.
Okay. Nice. Bye, guys.
I know I gave you a hard time and all, but... I'm sorry. There, I said it.
Hadmar's glad you're all right. I'm proud to call you my friend.
Goodbye, Hadmar.
You see I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to return to Mournhold, just let me know. I exist on this plane to serve.
Yeah, so I gotta go back tomorrow now.
You got it, Your Majesty.
Sarcasm is so strong in him. Thanks, dude.